हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू फाइनेंस बाय अविशा एंड अर्पिता। आज की वीडियो में हम देखेंगे की इवेंट्स एंड देयर इम्पैक्ट ऑन मार्केट। सो टॉकिंग अबाउट द ओवरव्यू फॉर अ मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट, just based on company specific information may not be sufficient. It is also important to understand the events that influence the market. Various outstanding factors, economic and non economic events, have a key impact on stock and markets performance in general. तो इस चैप्टर में हम बेसिकली देखेंगे कुछ इवेंट्स and how the market, stock market basically react to them. So the first one is monetary policy. A monetary policy is a tool with which the RBI controls the money supply by controlling interest rate. They do this by tweaking the interest rates. RBI is India's central bank. The world over, every country's central bank is responsible for setting interest rate. While setting the interest rates, the RBI has to strike a balance between growth and inflation. In a nutshell, if interest rates are high, that means the borrowing rates are high, particularly for corporations. If corporates cannot borrow easily, they cannot grow. If corporate doesn't grow and the economy slows down, तो कॉर्पोरेट ग्रो नहीं करेंगे तो इकोनॉमी स्लो डाउन हो जाएगी. ऑन द अदर हैंड, when the interest rates are low, borrowings become easier. This translates to more money in the hands of corporations and customer. With more money, there is increased spending, which means the sellers tend to increase price, leading to inflation. To strike a balance, the RBI has to consider all factors carefully, set a few key rates. Any imbalance in these rates can lead to economic chaos. The key RBI rates that you need to track are repo rate, reverse repo rate, and CRR. So what is repo rate? Whenever bank wants to borrow money, they can borrow from RBI. The rate at which RBI lends money to other banks is called the repo rate. If the repo rate is high, that means the cost of borrowing is high, leading to slow growth in the economy. Currently, the repo rate in India is 8%. Market doesn't like the RBI increase the repo rates. Now, what is reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate is the rate at which RBI borrows money from banks. When banks lend money to RBI, they are certain that RBI will not default, and hence they are happier to lend their money to RBI as opposed to a corporate. However, when banks choose to lend money to the RBI instead of corporate entities, the bank system supply of money reduces. An increase in repo rate is not great for the economy as it tightens the supply of money. The reverse repo rate is currently around 7%, or it might have increased or decreased a little bit. Now, talking about the cash reserve ratio, every bank is mandatorily required to maintain fund with RBI. The fund that they maintain is dependent on the CRR. If the CRR increases, then more money is removed from the system, which is not good for the economy. The RBI meets every 2 months to review the rates. This is a key event that the market watches out for. The first to react to rate decisions would be interest rate sensitive stock across various sectors such as banks, automobile, housing finance, real estate, metals, etc. Now, we'll come to inflation. Inflation is a sustained increase in general price of goods and services. Increasing inflation erodes the purchasing power of money. All things become all things being equal, if the cost of 1 kg of onion has increased from rupees 15 to 20, then this price increase in attribution to inflation. Inflation is inevitable, but a high inflation rate is not desired, as it could lead to increase uneasiness, economic uneasiness basically. A high level of inflation tend to send a bad signal to the market. Government work towards cutting down the inflation to a manageable level. Inflation is generally measured using an index basically. If the index is growing up by a certain percentage point, it indicates rising inflation. Likewise, index falling indicates inflation cooling off. There are two types of inflation indices. One is wholesale price index and other is consumer price index. Now, what is wholesale price index? The WPI indicates the movement in price at the wholesale level. It captures the price increase or decrease when they are sold between organization as opposed to actual consumers. WPI is an easy and convenient method to calculate inflation. However, the inflation measured here is at a institutional level and does not necessarily capture the consumer inflation, as the WPI in May stands around, I think, 6.01%. You can check it what's the wholesale price index and comment down below what's the wholesale price index right now. Now, talking about the consumer price index, the CPI on the other hand captures the effect of the change in price at a retail level. As a consumer, CPI inflation is what really matters. The calculation of CPI is quite detailed, as it involves classifying consumption into various categories and subcategories across urban and rural regions. Each of these categories are made into an index. This means the final CPI index is a composition of several internal indices. The calculation of CPI is quite rigorous and detailed. It is one of the most critical matrix for studying the economy. A national statistical agency called the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation (MOPSI) publishes the CPI numbers around second week of every month. As CPI inflation had kind of cooled down in different months. The RBI's challenge is to strike a balance between inflation and interest rate. Usually, a lower interest rate tend to increase inflation, and a high interest rate tend to arrest inflation. Now, coming to our Index of Industrial Production (IIP). The Index of Industrial Production is a short-term indicator of how the country's industrial sector is progressing. The data is released every month along with inflation data by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation (MOPSI). As the name suggests, the IIP measures the India's industrial sector production, keeping a fixed reference point. As of today, India uses the reference point of, I think, maybe it might have changed in 2013. It was 2004-5. It might have changed. You need to check this Index of Industrial Production and let me know in the comment section below. The reference point is also called the base year. Roughly about 15 different industries submit their production date to the ministry, which collates the data and releases it as an index number. If the IIPI is increasing, it indicates a vibrant industrial environment as the production is going up, and hence a positive sign for the economy and the market. A decreasing IIPA indicates sluggish production environment, hence a negative sign for the economy and the market. To sum up, an upswing in industrial production is good for the economy, and a downswing rings an alarm. As India is getting more industrialized, the relative importance of the index for industrial production is increasing. A lower basically IIPA puts pressure on the RBI to lower the interest rate. So now we'll come to purchasing managers index, PMI. The purchasing managers index is an economic indicator that tries to capture business activities across the country's manufacturing and service sector. It is a survey based indicator where the respondents, usually the purchasing manager, indicate their business perspective change concerning the previous month. A separate survey is conducted for the services and manufacturing sector. The data for the survey are collated on a single index. Typically, areas covered in the index include new orders, output, business expectation, and employment. So the PMI number usually oscillates around 50. A reading around 50 indicates expansion, below 50 indicates a contraction in the economy, and a reading at 50 indicates no change in the economy. Now, talking about the budget. A budget is an event during which the Ministry of Finance discusses the country's finance in detail. The finance market, on behalf of the ministry, makes a budget presentation to the entire country. During the budget, major policy announcement and economic reforms are announced which impact various industries across the market. Therefore, the budget plays a vital role in the economy. To illustrate this further, one of the budget expectation was to increase the duties on in July 2014 on cigars. As expectation during the budget, the finance minister released the duties on cigars, and hence the prices of cigars were also increased. An increased cigar price has a few implication. Increased cigar price discourage smokers from buying cigars. Needless to say, this is debatable, and hence the profitability of cigars manufacturing companies such as ITC decreases. If the profitability decreases, then investors may want to sell shares of ITC. If market participants start selling ITC, the markets will come down because the ITC is an index heavyweight. As a reaction to the budget announcement, ITC traded 3.5% lower to this previous reason. A budget is an annual event and it is announced during the last week of February. However, under certain special circumstances such as new government formation, the budget announcement could be delayed. Now, corporate earning announcement. So, what is corporate earning announcement? This is perhaps one of the most important event to which the stock reacts. The listed companies traded on the stock exchange must declare their earning number once in every quarter, also called the quarterly earning number. During an announcement, the corporate gives out details on various operational activity, including how much revenue has the company generated, how has the company managed its expenses, how much money did the company pay in terms of tax and interest charges, what is the profitability during the quarter. Besides, some companies give an overview of what they expect from the upcoming quarters. This forecast is called corporate guidance. Inevitably, every quarter, the first blue chip company to make the quarterly announcement is Infosys, maybe. This is for the previous year. So, every quarter, when the company declares its earnings, the market participant match the earning with which basically their own expectation and how much the company should be earning. The market participant expectation is called the street expectation. The stock prices will react positively if the company's earnings are better than the street expectation. On a similar logic, the stock price will react negatively if the actual numbers are below the street expectation. If the street expectation and actual numbers match, the stock price tend to trade flat with a negative bias more often than not. This is mainly because the market could not give any positive surprises. So, the key takeaways from this chapter are: first, markets and individual stock react to events. Every participant should equip themselves to understand and decipher these events. Second, monetary policy is one of the most important economic event. During the monetary policy review, actions on repo, reverse repo, CRR are initiated. Third, interest rate and inflation are related. Increasing interest rate curbs inflation and vice versa. Fourth, inflation data is released every month by MOPSI. As a consumer, CPI inflation data is what you need to track. Fifth takeaway, IIPA measures industrial production activity. Increase in IIPA cheers the market and lowers IIPA disappoints the market. Sixth, PMI is a survey based business sentiment indicator. The PMI oscillates during the 50 mark. Around 50 is good news to market, and PMI below 50 is not good. Seventh, the budget is an important market event where policy announcement and reform initiations are taken. Markets and stocks react strongly to business announcement. And the last eighth takeaway is corporate earnings are reported every quarter. Stock react mainly due to the variance in actual number versus the street's expectation. So this is all about the key events and their impact on market. If you'd like the video and enhanced your knowledge, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.